Hello. Today we're talking about the complicated issues that affect teens that are dealing with transgender thoughts and how that translates into youth groups and the issues that come up from that and how to properly love these kids. So one of the things we discussed was they're probably coming into our youth group with a lot of bias or things that they've heard from in their social groups or on social media about how the church either views their situation or has been abusive to transgender people in the past. And so they're probably coming in with a negative view of the church or a negative view that if God's real, then why did he make me this way? And why would he not just make me the gender that I feel that I'm supposed to be? And so we got to watch kind of where their sources are coming from. If they're in a friend group that's really affirming them and just speaking a whole different worldview, then we just got to know that we're going to be facing it's kind of they're weighing the truth in their minds, whether should I follow the church or should I follow my social circle. And with that, if they do get upset with the church, then they could turn to even more activist types that are really upset with the church. So we got to be really careful when a kid walks in with dealing with these things, because we can really upset them and make it worse if we're not loving them in the way Jesus would. Um, Jay.
Another thing we talked about was how to address them with care. Surely there's going to be a situation that happens to where we're having to either tell them no to using a certain bathroom, or we're not affirming of the pronoun that they want to use or their gender that they want to be put with. Um, but what's important is how we do that. Obviously, we don't want to be over tolerant. Not only because that's not loving towards them, but then that could put us in a situation to where we have to be tolerant towards other sinful attitudes or other students, situations. But there's definitely, I think we agreed, a way to address the situation to where we're not being overly critical or hateful towards them. We can be gentle, we can be careful in the way that we disagree with them. And one thing I had said was I'd rather them be a little mad at me because I disagreed with them, but still be in church and hearing the truth, rather than me, lashing out on them and then hating me and never seeing the church again.
Yeah, and along with I guess with caring for them, and trying not to upsetting them and stuff. I also said little bit more of just understanding of how do we care for these teens as they go through this time of change for them. Definitely, like what Jay was saying, you don't want to affirm them, and we don't want to be so tolerant to the point where we say, yeah, we agree that you are the gender that you are, but we also have to understand and be firm in our stance that this is what the Bible teaches against these things, but do so in such a way where we remind them that, hey, this is a safe place for you as well. The church is made up of broken people, and this is a place where we come together as broken people, and we become restored in Christ. And just to remind them that, Christ is what restores us, and remind that it's okay to bring in your baggages, and it's okay to have these issues because this is part of life. But then we have to understand that we come together and we lay them before Christ together, and we work through it together and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing with just caring for them is understanding the situation that there are a lot of hate towards them already, being that they may feel like there's a lot of hate towards them already because of what they're going through in this change. And so it's important for us as leaders to really remind them that, hey, we care about you, we love you, even if you may believe or you may think this way, but we care for you and we love you, and then we'll work through this together. Yeah.
So we have got a very fruitful discussion today, and my brothers, they just talk about how to value these kids. And so the question I chose was about practically where to locate them in terms of study groups. So based on what we have discussed, we prefer to put them in their original gender group, but it's better to talk to both the individual and also the group in advance. So because we think it's different for talking to the teenager, addressing to their pronoun one-to-one in comparison to the whole group setting. So in terms of what to talk to the group in advance, I think it's good. This is a good chance to teach the group regarding how God view different genders and how God want the relationship between human look like. So through this way, it prepare a heart, no matter who come to the group later, but at least it prepared the heart. After, if this happens, if for example, if this happens and we restart a series of Bible study, maybe a series of identity crisis or emotion adjustment or biblical manhood or biblical womanhood. And in terms of big brother or big sister to set a mentor for the teen, we think it's better to connect with a counselor who has heart for teenager and who has training for how to attend this case, a similar case in the past. And we wish we could discuss more, but the time is short.